Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to day 6 of the Coast to Coast. If any of you have been watching my Coast to Coast series, you will notice that it paused at day 5. And that was 3 years ago. Can you believe it was 3 years ago when we did the first half? We had a week off, did the first half, and then planned to come back and do the second half the following year, and was hit with no end of problems. We've had to cancel it twice for lots of different reasons, and now finally 3 years later we are back. So if you have watched the last 5 days, this is day 6, day 1 for us of this particular trip, but day 6 overall. So we've left the car back in Kirkby Stephen. We drove up from the south coast, 6-hour journey, and then we've now come up out of Kirkby Stephen and are now on our way up to the Nine Standards Rigg. It's a bit windy and there's the clags in, so I don't know how much view we're going to get, but it's just, you know what, it's just fantastic to finally be back on the trail and to get this second half done. I can't tell you how much I've been looking forward to this, yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be a good trip. Behind me you can see Joe in the distance, and then up the front we've got Marrick and Stephen, the same people that did days 1 to 5, but we've been also joined by Matt, Joe's mate, who has done hiking but not long distance backpacking, and this is his first trip. So we have 109 miles to go, 173 kilometers, and today we're doing 12.5, roughly around 12.5 miles from Kirkby Stephen to Keld, which is our first stop for the night. So when we get up to the top of the Nine Standards, I shall give you a quick view of those and a short brief history, which is very brief. Yeah, but great to be back. We have finally reached the top to the Nine Standards, and as you can see, there isn't actually a lot to see. So it's a bit breezy, but you can see behind me the Nine Standards, also known as the Nine Stonemen, and they originate, or date back should I say, to the 18th century. It's a complete mystery about why they're here and what the reasoning is behind whoever built them. But yeah, it's quite something. Just large round cairns really, and this side where the cairns and the Nine Standards are sitting is still in Cumbria, which is the Lake District, and 770 yards, old money, that way is the Yorkshire Dales National Park. So we're nearly out of the Lake District section and heading into the Yorkshire Dales National Park. I'm possibly on day 5 in my last video, although it's 3 years ago, may possibly have thought that Kirkby Stephen was in Yorkshire, but I don't think it is. I think it's classed as Cumbria still. But anyway, there you go. Right, I'm going to put some waterproofs on because it's windy and it's getting a bit moist. So we have now gone past the Nine Standards and reached the junction where there are different routes of the path depending on the time of year. We're obviously May to July, and that's due to the amount of bog, because it's very peaty and boggy up here. We've been through quite a bit already, and I think Stephen already stuck his boot in above his top line, so he's got wet socks already. And we're going to follow the May to July route. However, the weather hasn't been very good up here, for the last few weeks, so I'm not entirely sure how boggy or dry this is going to be. It could be a lot boggier than it normally is for this time of year because the weather's not been good, but we'll see how it goes. So it looks like they've, I don't know what it is, like Hessian type bales that have been put here, I'm guessing to stop the peat and to maintain it so it doesn't slide off. I guess it all helps preserve it and helps maintain that carbon capture, but it is pretty boggy. So since leaving the Nine Standards, we've managed to, which was about a 5 mile mark, we've managed to accomplish 1.8 miles. It's taken us hours because whilst the path I'm on now doesn't look too bad, it's some of this is really deep, and it's calf deep or deeper, so there's a lot of switchbacking and zigzagging to try and navigate it. Yeah, come prepared for wet feet when you do this section. Nice shooting hut to stop, take a break.
After I brought one. Go you what? I brought a plastic water bottle, obviously last time we did the downsling. I kept the lid separately so the bottle would air out.
So Raven Seat, which is a cafe here, but it's closed because we're so late. Nice old bridge. Hello. Hello. Goodbye. Morning everybody. So day 2. Didn't do a lot of filming yesterday because we didn't start till really late and we knew we had to get here, and getting across that boggy moor on the top was quite hard going, and we've all ended up with wet boots and wet feet because it was well above the boot line on a few occasions. So we made it to Keld. We're at Runkins Farm campsite, and we're, as you can see behind me, we're all pitched here. We've had breakfast, the sun's out, it's a glorious day, so hopefully it stays that way. We're just drying out the tents because there was absolutely no wind last night at all whatsoever, so it was condensation city. And we went down to the campsite cafe to try and avoid the midges because we were plagued by midges last night, but we did bring midge net, so that was quite handy. So today we're off to Marrick, and I think we go through a place called Gunnerside. I think we're going to take the lower route. There's a higher route and a lower route. I've done part of the higher route before, so we're going to take the lower route, go through Gunnerside, then on to Reeth, and then up to a place called Marrick to Nuncote Farm campsite. So when we're packed up and we're on the way, I'll bring you back. I think this is River Swale. I know this is, the Yorkshire Dales are a little bit different, a bit greener than the rockiness of the lakes, but it's still beautiful, especially on a day like this. I've seen this on so many other YouTubers' videos. Old fixer-upper that is. Don't make them like that anymore. God knows how many years that's been there. So while we're walking on the side of the river, I thought I'd just share with you that this is part of the Pennyway. So the Coast to Coast and Pennyway also share part of the same path. But what I didn't realise is that I met somebody just as I was leaving the campsite, and he was a subscriber to my channel and recognised me, which was very nice. A very nice bloke, and he's doing the Heriot Way, which I believe is a 57-mile circular route. I don't know the route off the top of my head, but if I do find out something about it, I'll maybe put a link to it in the description below, so if it's something you're interested in, you can have a look at. But I do want to say, Paul Bradley, thank you very much for subscribing, most appreciated, and it was great to meet you. And I think somewhere behind, I don't know if you can see in the distance in the path, he's there somewhere, but I'm not sure if the Osmo Action 4 will pick that up, because it's not great stuff that does distance. But yeah, good luck to you finishing the Heriot Way. I'm not sure what day he was on, but he stayed at the same campsite, so yeah, good luck with that. Hope you have a good trip. So we've just made it to Gunnerside, little village. Doesn't seem to be a lot here, but there is a pub and some public toilets. And so we're just going to stop and have a quick break. And while we're having a break, we're enjoying the pleasure of a lovely chicken that's wandering around underneath the tables.
Probably not.
I guess it's a pub chicken. That was a killer leg burner coming out from the pub, but stunning views though. Well, we've now made it to the village of Reeth, which I'll just do a quick swing around so you can have a look. And we stopped at the Black Bull, had a drink, nothing alcoholic, and we're way too dehydrated for that, and had something to eat. I think, to be honest, we've gone a bit too far without stopping. We've got about another 3.7 miles to go over to Marrick, to the campsite, and I think actually we went too far today. We should have stopped earlier, so I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling a little bit sick. So since the last clip, we've left Reeth and we've come up to Nuncote Farm, which is quite a nice campsite. Not many people here. Excuse the noise in the background, there's kids over there. And yeah, and so this is where we've pitched up. As usual, I'm in the HV Euro 1 copper spur, X-Ped mat, Thermarest 20 degrees, new Thermarest pillow because I've had enough of inflatable pillows, small version, so much more comfortable. Mark's in his Nemo Dragonfly, Steve's in the, what's it called, Steve? Terra Nova laser competition. Joe's also in the copper spur. Matt's in his brand new Durston tent, and over there is Paul, who's also in a Durston, and you would have heard me mention him earlier on because we met him at Keld, and he's doing the what are you doing, Paul? The Heriot Way. He's doing the Heriot Way, which goes along part of the coast to coast. Although in that last clip you saw, I did actually point to him being behind me and waving to him, and that actually wasn't him because he was in front of me, so you just have to ignore that bit of footage.